78.6 FM Yoma Time. Positive vibes with Winsome. Just doing a quick sound check. Good morning, everyone. It is so amazing to be back for the first show of the new year. First show of the new year. Really excited. So grateful for the team here. Wonderful to see folks coming in as I'm walking in the door this morning with smiles and happy new year cheer. New life. You know, we hear these jokes and you see things on the radio or not see things on the radio. You see things online and the memes. And I remember last year, everybody was talking about new year, new me, right? And this year, there's so many things already going on in the first couple of days of the new year. And I'm not a social media guy. I don't sit there all day, every day on social media. Usually I'm working on something, creating something with my team or doing something, getting ready for the rest of the year. But I just happened to catch a couple of things that have been happening. And I just want to tell you, man, no matter what is going on around you or what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and really sad, especially things that are going on in North Japan right now with the earthquakes and the plane recently. No matter what's going on around you, please do not let anything steal your joy. A lot of other people's stories are going to happen. A lot of things are going to happen throughout the week, throughout the day, throughout the month. Make sure you maintain your joy. Keep hold and keep close those things that bring you joy. And don't allow all those things going on, a lot of times has nothing to do with you directly in front of you, to take you out of whatever you have that you're using and doing to protect your peace. And I say these things. I say it's not easy. And there's been a lot of times that people will try to pull you in to what's going on way away from you emotionally, right? Try to pull you in emotionally and take you away from whatever you have as a vision for yourself or moves for yourself and take you out of that space that you've created for yourself. I know a lot of people that have walked into this new year, last couple of weeks, last couple of months, especially those that are close to me, with a plan. And the reason I'm saying this is make sure you stick to your plan. Whatever you had, the vision you have for yourself, waking up on the 1st of January, 2024. Woo, crazy to say that. Stick to it. Anyway, 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes with Winsome. I'm really excited to be back. First episode of the year. Really had a great time over the holidays, trying to rest, reset, relax, getting everything together. And when I say that, I mean I wanted to get rid of things I didn't need anymore going into this new year. I wanted to make sure my mindset was right. And even walking into this show today, you know, I was listening to old episodes from a year ago, 2 years ago. And I was like, okay, let me do something different. Not change my character, change my style, the brand. And I heard someone say that. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. But make sure I'm walking in here genuinely and authentically me. It's a second wind. That's how I feel. Walk right now, sit in this chair. This is my second wind. And if you don't know what that is, I'm going to explain that to you coming up in a few minutes. But I really wanted to walk in here different. The energy, the feeling. And I don't want to change a thing because everything, the love, the feedback, and the environment that this show has created, this team has allowed us to do, this platform that we have, I think it's beautiful. I really appreciate it, and I wouldn't change a thing. However, what I can do and have control over is my energy, my mindset, and what I'm saying into the mic every Saturday. So with this second win and with the vision that I have for the rest of this year, right? I can't wait to show you what's going on in here. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. Like we always do, I want to start off this show and say thank you to the folks who have been supporting not only the radio show, the podcast before the relaunch, which is going to be this month, the segments that we do and the seminars that we do on base, Kadena Air Base. I want to say thank you to all of those folks who have been a part or were a part of 2023 and 2022's vision. You know, and there's a lot of companies and a lot of CEOs and a lot of teams that really pour into us so that we can pour into others. And I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to those teams. First and foremost, Trainers Warehouse. I really appreciate everything. Right? Trainerswarehouse.com. If you guys haven't been paying attention to the episodes that we do on here when we throw the ball around during the seminars, right? That's because Trainers Warehouse has sponsored, supported, encouraged. I want to really say thank you to Miss Sue Billen for everything, man. So just trusting us to go out there and represent their brand while we're doing our thing. So 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. PositiveVibesRadioshow.com. Thanks, Trainers Warehouse. Another one, Free Period Press. Man, Free Period Press, I can't say enough how much we utilize your tools, the things that you created over the last 2 years. The self-care journal was huge, a wonderful item to give away at our seminars. Thank you for sending those to us. Dr. Roland Roberts, 88 Days to Any Goal. They sent us a whole 2 big boxes of books so that we can provide, when we were teaching goal setting, leaving out of that last year and into the new year. And I was able to give those away and help people set their paths. I literally got feedback, and I hadn't seen this. I didn't read it until right before the break. And the feedback that I got from the 88 Days to Any Goal, from a gentleman who I've been in the United States military for about 16 years, said that was the most impressive and most interesting seminar he has ever sat through in his life. And he can't wait to keep coming back and sending his folks. So not only the concepts, the material, the trust that Dr. Roberts and this team had in us to present it and deliver it, but the feedback was overwhelmingly positive, and we only ran it one time. We ran it one time. And then immediately after that, feedback from that group, we went up to the Marine Corps, and we were doing the Lance Corporal's course, and we presented some of those concepts there, handed out some more of the books, gave it out. They loved it. So much so that the Corporal's course that's supposed to happen, they're asking, hey, what else can you bring? So Dr. Roland Roberts and teams, the book was amazing, amazing tool. Thank you so much for trusting us to build that course to end last year, to get people ready for this year. I mean, that's something that you can't make up, right? And I really want to tell you that these folks are the ones who, when you pick up the phone or you get online and you reach out to them, they raise their hand back and say, I got you. Raise my hand, I need help. I got you. I love those types of people. And you can't make that stuff up. I'm going to say this again. When we reach out and those individuals on the other end do not hesitate, they're like, we got you. Not just because of your mission, not just because of the reason that you're doing this, not just because of your purpose, but because we care enough to care. Wow. So for everyone who went out of their way to make sure that we were armed up with all of the information, the tools, the books, check the slides over with us to make sure it was good to go, thank you. I'd be remiss to not thank the Happiness Studies Academy and Dr. Tal Ben Shahar. Oh my goodness. Happier no matter what. Went from, I'll tell the story often, but went from me reading his books, Happier no matter what. Choose the life you want. Went from me reading those books to putting the concepts all together for a course, to reaching out to the team saying, please let me do this, to getting the permission to do it, from the message from Dr. Tao. I'm trying to tell you guys, it was such an amazing experience and opportunity to present that to such a large audience, just because we care enough to do it, because we know the concepts can change lives, and because the individuals who created it, launched it, and put it out there, trusted us to deliver. Thank you. And we talk about these collaborations, right? So you got Trainers Warehouse, you got Free Period Press, you got Dr. Roland Roberts and his team, you got Dr. Tal Ben Shahar. And then we ended the year, I met for the first time, I've been hearing about this man for months, for years, but Dr. Jason Womack, right? Chief of Development for the Space Force, a Chief of Development branch for the United States Space Force. Start conversating. As I'm launching Emotional Intelligence Habits. And on that note, thank you so much. Thank you to Dr. Travis Bradbury. Let me say that again, Dr. Travis Bradbury, for trusting us to teach not only concepts from Emotional Intelligence 2.0, but the concepts from Emotional Intelligence Habits. His new book, which dropped back in August. Dr. Bradbury, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you trusting us with that material. And the folks who came out to support the launch here in Okinawa, who came out, provided videos, messages, oh my goodness, to all of you. And I'll mention names coming back on this break, but Dr. Jason Womack, everyone loved his message. Diana Shabanow, I don't want to say your name wrong. You know, there's so many people who just stepped up and said, we got you. I can't tell you how special that makes a team feel when individuals on the other side aren't worrying about how much can we charge you to help you. What can you do for us if we help you? Which, I'll be honest, 100% honest, I've had that too, right? We're building, we're trying to educate, encourage, and inspire other people. I'm reaching out to people out here in the world that are doing this on a different platform. And I'm saying, help us encourage, educate, inspire. This is who we are. We are instructors. We are facilitators. We are trained to do this. And we can deliver your message if you trust us. And I've had people say, go and conquer. Here you go. How else can we support? And I've also had those that have said, how much can you pay? How much can you give us back? I hesitate with that, but I understand it's a business. And I'll be honest, I don't want to jump on here and act like I don't realize that outside of our walls, outside of this beautiful island that I live on, that there are businesses that thrive on doing what we're trying to do for free, right? So for those folks who didn't hesitate and those folks who stepped up and said, we got you, thank you. And I'm missing a couple of people. Dr. William Ramey, amazing, right? I'm going to say a couple of people coming back from the break because I know I forgot a few. But without you, 2023 would not have been what it was. And so I want to say publicly, and I want to say to all of our listeners, thank you to everyone who armed us up, prepared us to come out on this island and educate, encourage, and inspire others. Your support meant the world to us, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about the love that we have for you now. And so you are loved, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for your conversations, your mentorship, and more than anything else, the encouragement and trust for us to launch from this tiny island which you've created and share it with the folks who really needed it. It's 2023 couldn't have been what it was without you. So without further ado, I said thank yous. I'm going to think of some names during the break that I may have forgot. I'll come back and say thank you during the next segment. But what are we talking about today? I said at the beginning, second win. You guys saw all the goals that I had for PositiveVibesRadioShow.com last year. All the things I want to do for the radio show, all the things I want to do for the courses that we were building, from the folks that we were working with so we can deliver. All of those things were amazing. They were fun. It was a great vision. It was a fun vision to play with, share, and explore. This year is new energy. And I'm looking at all the storylines right now already in 2024, and I know tomorrow's not promised. I know that I can have a vision going all the way out to 2025, but tomorrow's not promised. So what am I doing with the time and the energy that I have today, right? So for the folks on my team, the McDaniel Center for Professional Development, thank you. Because I know I have a lot of wild ideas. I know I have a lot of wild plans, and I know I have a unique vision when it comes to what we can do. Because I honestly believe in my heart, in my mind, in my heart of hearts, that we are limitless. I honestly believe that we are only set by the limitations that we create for ourselves. I honestly believe that if we set our mind to it, if we plan it, we talk to the right people, we get the right support, and we put the right effort into it, that we can do whatever we put our heart and mind to. I honestly believe that. And I've actually seen it. We've actually explored it, experienced it last year. So for those who needed a reason, if you didn't see it, I'm gonna show you a video, right? You'll see it on the website. Show you a video of what happens when you go from a vision to a plan to action. The little things that you sprinkle in, the folks who are actually supporting, right? The location, the timing, the encouragement, the setbacks. How do you overcome those? If you didn't see it, if you missed it, I'm going to drop a video. The video is going to be on the website at the end of the weekend. I haven't put a video out there in a while. I have to update the website because there's been so much that has happened, but it's been such a whirl. Should I say such a whirlwind? It's time to be still for a second and drop it out there. We'll be right back. Talk about more of this after this break. 78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsome. Last segment, I talked about all the thank yous, everybody who made this possible for the last, I wouldn't say this is going into our 4th year. So you'll see 4 years this summer, right? As we hit our 4-year point. So for the last 3 years plus, everybody who's had a part of this journey, I just want to say thank you, right? And that's what we did for the first segment. This time I want to explain what a second wind is. So I'm going to read this to you. A second wind refers to a renewed burst of energy or enthusiasm that comes after a period of exhaustion or discouragement. And I'm going to say second wind for me, really I'm not exhausted or discouraged, but a second wind for me is new energy and enthusiasm. New energy because I realize now what I didn't realize for a long time is that what we put into it is what we're going to get out. So if we put that renewed energy, that renewed burst, that renewed effort, that's what we're going to get back, right? So the second wind, I say this as many times as I need to say it. That is why I deleted the podcast. Not because the podcast wasn't great, cool reviews, 4.5 out of 5 as far as ratings. I deleted it because I wasn't happy with it. Because when I listened to it, I didn't feel the energy I know I could have brought to those segments. I might keep them and I might say like flashbacks for later on when I relaunch, but I wasn't happy and I didn't want to force my own hand on a product that represented my heart and mind. I refused to do that because it wasn't genuinely what I know I can put out there, right? And why are you doing that? Why do you constantly change? Why aren't you comfortable? Why can't you just be still with what you're doing? People like it. It's cool. You're doing it. That's just because it's cool feedback doesn't mean you can't grow. Doesn't mean you can't be better. Doesn't mean you can't do better. There's a quote I want to read to you by C. Joy Bell C. Her quote says, or his quote, don't know if it's a male or female. I didn't do the research on that. I just like the quote. The only way that we can live is if we grow. The only way that we can grow is if we change. The only way that we can change is if we learn. And the only way that we can learn is if we are exposed. The only way we can become exposed is if we throw ourselves out into the open. Let me tell you something. Let me just break that down to what you didn't and probably didn't catch. How do you live? How do you grow? How do you change? How do you learn? And how do you expose yourself to be able to do all of those things? So with me, with this show, with the messages, it's not about, let me just get up there and jump on the microphone. It's how do I make sure that what we're talking about on this show, what we're teaching in this classroom, can be applied and possibly change or save a life. And if we're not doing that, if we're not bringing that energy, then to me, it's not worth it. I'll be 100% honest with you. If I'm not doing that and I'm not coming in here with that as my mission, goal, and drive, then it's not worth it. I could be sitting there at the house right now watching Netflix or playing Xbox or PS5, right? But I'm here because I know that there's so much more that we can do. 78.6 FM, positive vibes of Winsome. Man, what does a second wind look like? So, podcast reset, right? The podcast reset is important to me because I want to make sure that the topics align with everything that's really the messaging that's really important, not just to me, but to the folks, the information that we got back from all last year, the requests that we had. I want to make sure that our podcast messaging aligns with all of that. Not just because it's cool and it's trendy. I don't want that. I don't want a cool and trendy podcast. I'm going to read to you some of the topics that we're going to drop with the podcast relaunch, right? Self-love. Listen to me. We're talking about self-love. What is mindfulness? The truth about emotional intelligence. How to protect your peace. Avoiding comparison. Setting boundaries, healthy and strong boundaries. Gratitude, what that really means and what it looks like. Forgiveness, not just how to forgive others, but how to forgive yourself. Love languages, Not just the 5 love languages that you hear about all the time, but how those love languages apply to your work, your home, your kids, yourself. Understanding not only what they are for you, but how you interact with others. And then we also want to talk about embracing those imperfections. Kind of ties into self-love again. So I might switch that up to talk about self-awareness. So if you don't catch what we're talking about, my biggest vision for you with all of these topics and everything that is launching is that you can be the best version of you. That you can be better than you were yesterday. Because if you've never heard me tell you, and if you are just tuning in for the first time and you're just now listening to Positive Vibes Radio Show, what I'm trying to tell you is you are not bound to be today the person that you were yesterday. You can wake up right now with that second wind, that new energy, and say, I'm done with that. I'm throwing all that away. Every year is an opportunity. Every morning you wake up is an opportunity. Every new day is a chance for you to be who you truly want to be. Not who anyone else tells you you have to be, who you truly want to be. Do you have a vision? Can you see who you want to be? Can you see how you want others to see you? Do you see that in yourself? Are you fighting for that reality? A lot of people don't. They'll say it. I just want my character to exude and the gratitude and blah, blah. All right. But are you fighting for those truths? Are you making the effort to make those changes in you to be what you want at the end of your story? What's the story that others are telling about you? See, I don't say the same messaging. I don't come in here and say the same thing every week because the finish line is not going to change for me. The path to get there, the goal will not change, but the path might a couple of times to still achieve the goal. And for me, at the end of this finish line, I want people to know that my character was consistent, that I fought for my truth, that just because there are roadblocks, setbacks, I didn't give up. Because I know there's others watching me. I know that every time I fight for those truths, it's encouraging and inspiring somebody else to fight for theirs. Every time there is an achievement, somebody understands that it's possible. Because so many times, not just in my career, but in my personal life, I've had to understand that there is an opportunity to make the impossible possible. One of my friends likes to say, I'm possible. That's the impossible part. And if we start looking at our life and our everyday, like today is a miracle. These opportunities don't come to everybody. These situations don't just happen for everyone. And we start waking up and realizing that today is a blessing. That's that gratitude piece we're talking about on the podcast. We start waking up. Who was it? Albert Einstein said you can see the world in one of two ways. As if nothing is a miracle, or as if everything is a miracle. Imagine that. You can see the world in one of two ways. And for me, I choose to see everything as a miracle. Me and my people, we went out to this new place. I'm always finding stuff online, and I just want to see it. It looks cool online. I want to see it in person. And I went to this place called a treehouse. It's a treehouse resort. It was being posted online. It looked really cool online. It looks like a big kid. You can just go up there and be a big kid. So the adventure was a 2.5 hour drive. Probably would have been an hour and a half, but I kept turning the wrong roads and going down the wrong way. So on this adventure, we pull up to where it should have been the entrance and the opening for the treehouse. And I'm expecting to see what I saw online. But what I saw was you can't see anything from the entrance. You have to go down the stairs, through a little trail to get to the views that are posted online. So from the entrance, just like a desolate trees, knocked down forest, you can see they're building some more little situations and areas. And it's nothing to really look at when you pull up. But when you look in the trees and you look beyond the leaves, you can see that there's something special in there. The lady comes out and she says, oh, I'm sorry, you can't go down there to protect the privacy of our guests. You can't go down there. I was like, okay, I get it. I understand, right? But as I look and I see, I know there's something special beyond the branches, those trees, those leaves. I can see the trail is leading somewhere nice. So in my mind, I'm thinking of how to get there. How do I set it up to where I can go and get through the trees and I can see what's through this trail? I want to see the setup, that this beautiful picture that everyone else is talking about. It's going to take work. It's going to take a plan. It's going to take follow-up to make that a reality. I got to one point, but I didn't get distracted, discouraged, and be like, I got here, I can't get, No, my mind goes into work mode. How do I make that reality? And that's what we have to do with our lives. See beyond the trees and the beauty that's waiting for you. We'll be right back after this break. .6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. Let me make sure I'm coming through. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. Hey, man, first show of the new year. I hopefully came back with new energy. Another quote to start me off with this segment. Just want to throw this at you. Sometimes it's the people who no one imagines anything of, who do the things that no one can imagine. That's another one that drives me. Let me say that again in case those folks didn't hear it in the back, right? Sometimes it's the people who no one imagines anything of, who do the things that no one can imagine. That's Alan Turing. Let me tell you something. I love being that guy. I love being that guy because it's when people don't expect something of me. When they see me, they're trying to size me up, my height, the way I talk, the way I move. But they're not getting game time, Winsome, all the time. Usually I'm thinking, I'm processing, I'm navigating in my mind how to get to where I'm trying to be or how to get folks who I care about where they're trying to be. So I love being that guy that no one expects to make things happen, to make the impossible possible. Not because I go home feeling bragging to myself, I did this. No, it's because I know that the impossible is possible. And I know the fire I have inside of me. I know when I go home the things that I know my team is capable of. And when that's something that's a reality for you, when you can see it, you can feel it, you can picture it, and you can plan for it, there's absolutely no one or nothing that can stop you except you. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. I was on stage talking to our leadership for the base the other day. And I'm watching slides, and I can't talk about the subject matter, but I'm reading what's going on before it's my time to talk. They gave me 2 minutes to speak to the leadership. Half of these people have never been in my development center. 75% of them have never had a conversation with me. And the rest of them probably have seen my emails, saw me in passing, or I've heard about the classes that we deliver at the McDaniel Center. So you give me 2 minutes. Cool. I'm going to get up there and I'm going to tell you we're underutilized. I'm going to tell you that home doesn't appreciate us as much as everyone else around us. All the other bases, other people in other states, they look at this stuff online, see our videos, see what we're delivering, and they understand it. They take the time to open the emails. They even send us emails inviting us to come teach. And I had to say all this in 2 minutes in a loving way because I really wasn't trying to beat anybody up. I was just trying to tell them, you're asking for things that we're presenting. You're asking for things that we have built relationships to bring to this island, that we have for the last year and a half created for you, right? So when we're sitting there and we're talking and I'm getting 2 minutes to talk, I wanted to make sure that the 2 minutes mattered. But I came from a place of love and I came from a place of truth. And when I told them that, I said, you have no idea what we are capable of. If you ask for it, we can build it. If you tell us there's a need, we will try to help you find it and fix it. Whatever you need. When I got back to work that day, it was probably about an hour left in my work day. People were still leaving the meeting, probably going home, processing what I said. Because when I came to work yesterday, the emails from all walks of life on this base. Hey, you mentioned this. Hey, I saw this on these slides. Hey, you talked about this. Sometimes the whole point of that is sometimes you just have to show people and tell them, but show them. And I didn't go up there just in my words. I didn't just go up there with fake promises. I showed them the facts. This is what we've been doing. Listen to me when I tell you that. This is what we've been doing. Yet half of you in this room didn't even know. This is what we can provide. What do they say? When you show people that you can add value, there's a need, and we can add value to your units, to your teams, to your people. There's other people taking advantage of our gifts, but you didn't even know they existed. Sometimes you have to remind them. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. The classes, the seminars, the times, the visits, the trips, the what do you call those? The lunch and learns that we've been doing have all amounted to this. Am I comfortable? No. Am I settling with this? No. Because if all I have is a year, possibly, to build, to deliver, I'm going to make this the best year, the best that I've ever brought, the most significant conversations, lessons, seminars that I've ever had in my career. Because for the first time in a long time, there's a new finish line. And so what I achieve or accomplish with the support, encouragement, and love of my team and our supporters from all over the globe is all we're going to be able to pour in before we get to this new finish line. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. Don't change the goal. Sometimes you got to change the path and the plan. But never change your goal if that goal is in your heart and it's embedded deep. And sometimes you have to remind yourself and surround yourself with the people that are going to help you achieve those goals. One of the things that we get wrong is we think we can do it by ourselves. Well, I got this. I don't need anybody to do this. I was like that when I was younger. I don't need anyone. I got this. But then when I started going on these journeys for those goals, I realized that I needed support. Those people who cared with me, that shared those visions, who believed in me. You see, when you don't surround yourself with those people and you surround yourself with the wrong people, then you start allowing those lies to creep in. And if you don't know what those are, those lies that you're not good enough. Those lies that say you should just give up right now. Those lies that say you're so far away from your goal, why are you even trying? You see, that's called self-doubt. Those friends that don't support you, that don't understand what encouragement looks like. Those friends that don't understand what success looks like after effort is put in. Consistency and discipline. Those friends that don't know what those words truly mean are not your real friends. You have to surround yourself with people who are helping you get to the finish line that you have created for yourself. I'm going to say that again. Surround yourself this year, 2024, with the people that are going to help you achieve the goals and the vision that you have for yourself. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with running your own race and cheering others on along the way. I've heard some stories over the last couple of days. And for the military, especially for our branch, this is what we call award season. And award season is when people put in packages and they write up what they did throughout the year. This is what I did. Me, right? That's their time. I get it. Some people are ambitious. And the crazy part about it is for some people to move forward in their career, you have to have a certain level of awards on paper that you accomplish. So you can imagine it gets kind of, right? Not me. I do not play that game, but for the first time, I had to be involved in the board review of this. And I got to see what that looks like and feels like for the first time being on the other side. I won't say what board, I won't say what unit, I won't say any of that. I'll just say it was a quick reminder of the fight that I don't choose to fight anymore because I don't do it for that. None of this. I separate myself. When it comes to what I pour into my career is based on what is needed of me and what I am charged with doing. All the extra stuff, I don't have energy for it. And then I get a call from a friend. She knows what I'm talking about. Got a call from a friend in the United States. It's going through the same award season. And she was telling me that a gentleman who was here, that was stationed here, moved there. Won't say where, just in the United States. They're up for an award. He's not supposed to know what's going on behind the scenes. The results are just supposed to come out. But this person made an attempt and a strong effort to go and find out who was on that board, to talk to someone he knew, to find out what was on other packages so he can dispute if he didn't win. Character, because some of the people that he was competing against were people that he called friends. Character. Run your own race. Because that's not the character I would surround myself with. Because that's telling me you would stab anyone in the back to win. You would do whatever it takes, and you will knock whoever out the way to win. Not putting everything and all your effort legitimately into your own race and trusting whatever happens behind the scenes to recognize the right person. But you would literally stab someone in the back to win. Those are the games you cannot play if you want the story at the end of your life to be a good one. Those are the moves we cannot make. It's not about who we're knocking down or pulling down to get ahead. It's not about ruining someone else's story to try to make yours look better or to highlight your own, or to another thing that you're doing when you're doing that, to get other stories out the way so you're the only one standing. That is not the character to have. That's not the legacy you want. I tell stories when we're teaching about the man at his retirement ceremony when the front row was empty and what leading up to that moment was going on behind the scenes and the kind of character that this man left with and the stories that were said about him when he left were so horrible. He was a horrible person. He didn't care about other people. He just cared about winning and promoting. He didn't care who we had to step on to get there. That is not the character in the military or civilian life that you want to have. When you pour value into others, value is given back to you. When you pour value into others, love comes back to you. The success stories, it's not about how much I get. It's seeing other people successful and them trusting you with a part of their story and decision making. That means the world to me. So many wonderful stories. The one couple is about to get married. Another young man just got the job that he wanted to. I hear all through the week people getting the shifts in their lives that they wanted. And I remember when they came into my office or called my phone or did a online meeting and they were broken. I remember when they couldn't see past the pain. I remember when they didn't believe there was anything beyond this, what I'm seeing and feeling right now. I'm a failure. I will never succeed. I will never get there. No. So when you are that person that you can pour that hope into someone else, when you're showing someone else that there is a different finish line, if they believe it, create it, see it, and fight for it. If you can be that person for them, that is the character and a legacy that will be remembered way after you're done doing your job. Those are the relationships and those people that reach out to you way after you're done working with them. Those are the people who will actually call you a friend, a mentor, an advisor, a trusting and loving person. But you have to really own that. You can't be inconsistent. You can't pick and choose, only I'm going to do these things when I'm winning because of it. And there's so many people out there doing that. It's heartbreaking. 78.6 FM Positive Vibes. We'll be right back. .6 FM Positive Vibes of Winston. This is the last segment. I'm really excited to have our first episode of the new year. And I can't tell you how much it means to me to be trusted with this time, this platform, this opportunity to pour into others. If you are here in Okinawa listening, the 14,000 listeners a day, we are so blessed that you take the time just to tune in, turn the volume up a little bit, turn it away from the other stations just to hear what this radio station is bringing. And this show wouldn't be anything without you. So thank you. And a lot of vision, man, a lot of trust and a lot of shared vision for what we're going to do with the rest of 2024. I can't wait to show you some of the things that have been going on during this break. Today was just really about saying thank you and reminding everybody you have to reach the goals that you set for yourself. And if you get distracted, knocked off course, or other people are trying to throw doubt at you, you don't change your goal. Sometimes you change your path if you need to. Trust me, we've all had that, especially in my career, when I might have had a vision for my year, but say the military deployed me. I didn't change my goal. I had to change the path to get there. I had to change the plan a little bit. But the goal was that important to me. And you have to have those goals that are truly important to you. I'll talk about that probably a little bit in one of the next segments, or I might even add it to the cast with the relaunch. But if you don't have an emotional connection to your goal, it's not really a goal. It's just a thought. You see, goals are only successful if you give them that emotional connection. You have to have that why, that reason, that purpose, right? You have to be able to connect to it when other things get in the way. You have to still be able to reconnect. And that's why so many people don't reach their goals, fight for their goals with everything they have, because they don't have that emotional connection to it. What is your reason why that's important to you? We have a lot of people, and some of those things are external, right? I have a friend right now saying, I want to get my master's because I don't want to have to financially rely on other people later on. But is that, or PhD, is that strong enough? Is that going to last when those hours and into the papers and the motivation that you need to find yourself, is that going to be enough emotional connection to give you that boost that you need at 1, 2, 3 in the morning when there's a challenge in front of you that you have to overcome? What is that that's going to give that to you? Do you have that why inside of you? Me is easy, 100%. Everything I have, my why is because the people that I care about the most, they believe in me. I believe in me. It's because everything that I've envisioned when I had nothing. And there's a story, if you didn't hear it from episodes ago, when I landed in Kosovo and the only money I had to my name was what was in my pocket, because there was zero in my bank account. I think I was negative $50 in my bank account. And I had to start completely over. Everything. Family, friends, finances, emotions. I had to reset, restart, and regroup. And I was in a foreign land to do it. And I tell you, my goals, visions, dreams, and the emotional connection, there wasn't nothing I wasn't willing to try, do, to make a new reality, a new life for myself. So I ask you, because you don't want to have to be at rock bottom to make those moves. Where are you right now to where you can emotionally connect yourself to these goals that you have in front of you for 2024? And this isn't a goal setting episode. It's not. I just want to make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people, that you have an emotional connection, and that you believe in yourself. No matter what other people say, think, or do you have that fire in you that's going to push you past all those obstacles to make your goals a reality? It's going to be times, I mentioned earlier, going up to the treehouse to see it. I had it all planned out. I was going to take great pictures. I even had a little outfit I want to change into just for the pics, because I said, this is a great shot. What I'm seeing online, this is beautiful. And I'd love to have a message that goes along with this beautiful picture. That's how my mind works. I'm sharing it with you. And then I get there and there's desolate trees, some construction, but I see it. I see the little bridge, the little stairs that lead to something amazing. I see it. And in your life, in your goals, and in your vision right now, do you see it? Because you have to start there. You have to have a vision first. And if you have a vision first, then you can create a plan to make that vision a reality. When you have a plan, then you can start taking actions towards that plan. When you start taking actions, you start moving closer and closer to your goal. So the lady comes out and she tells me, hey, sir, sorry, you can't see what's beyond that because you're not a guest. You don't have reservations to get in there, and we have to protect the privacy of our guests. So for me, I'm like, whoa, I got two options. I can pay all that money that is going to require to be a guest, or I can see what options I have for a tour so I can see it still in person. You see, my goal to see what's beyond those trees isn't going to change. But the effort, the plan, and the action steps are going to have to change so that I can get there. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you putting the pieces together with me? Don't change your goal. Sometimes you have to change your plan. So I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to share it with y'all when I actually get whatever I got to do. And I'm start with emailing the company and being like, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. This is the value that accomplishing did I say that right? This is the value that when I accomplish this will give to your resort. And if I can show that, provide that, add that, and communicate this, surround myself with whoever I need to make that communication happen. Meaning, if they don't speak good English, who are my friends that speak good Japanese? It's the plan. It's got to be part of the plan. But at the end of the day, my goal will not change. Don't let distractions, setbacks, or doubt change your goal, your dream, your vision, and what you see for yourself. Surround yourself with the people you need to make those things a reality. And because we're in the month, and because you know one of my first heroes was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I'm going to leave you with a quote. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, keep moving forward. 78.6 FM, Positive Vibes of Winsome. I'm so blessed for all of the relationships that have been a part of this journey over the last year. I'm so grateful for all of the people that believed, encouraged, and motivated me to keep going, even those days, weeks, and times that I didn't want to because it was too much work and I had so many competing obligations that we were doing. But from the McDaniel Center to the podcast to this radio show to every effort from the social media fans, thank you to the companies, CEOs, and friends. You are loved, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.